I'm not siding with my wife over our son's ex-girlfriend's pregnancy. That's a loaded statement. This story came August 31st, 2025. I feel like we read a story just like this. I forget what the title was. It was like, my idiot teenage son got his girlfriend pregnant or something, and it was a wild story. This is reminding me of this, but this is a new one. Our son just turned 16, had a girlfriend. She's 16, almost 17, but they broke up a month ago. About 3 weeks ago, we were informed by her parents that she is pregnant. She is slightly showing. The dates line up with my son's relationship. My wife and I went into full panic mode. We waited a couple days before telling our son, who didn't know. He immediately said, "It's not mine. I never slept with her." I didn't believe him, as I know that he is active. He did the sensible thing and he asked me for protection. However, he kept on saying they never did it. He said that he cheated on her. I had a heart-to-heart with him, and he is an absolute craphead, but I began to believe him. He said he always wraps, and he has asked for some restocks. My wife, on the other hand, still didn't believe him. Both families met. My wife started the conversation by just accepting that our son is the father and was trying to figure out a solution, funding, etc. My son spoke up, saying it's not his baby and that they never had intercourse. He was genuinely angry. Then he made a comment that I'm going to rephrase. Apparently, they only ever did a certain act, which can't result in a baby, and it was unsatisfactory, so he never went any further with her. We can just stall. We know what that means. As adults, we get what they're saying. I appreciate the censorship. An absolute craphead, and we raged at him over it. His ex-girlfriend admits they rarely did it, but explained the event, the when and where, and I will say it was believable too. I know he's a complete liar. I know he's an absolute dog, but I still believe him still. My wife, however, is angry with me for playing into his nonsense. She said I'm part of the boy culture. She said children born to teen parents are more likely to be teen parents. And we were both 17 when my wife got pregnant. She said I'm worsening the situation by not living in reality, and she is left to figure out what to do on her own. To her point, I am hands off on further meetings with the other family. I don't believe that we should have those discussions until it is proven that he is the dad. So, am I the a-hole? Edit. Her parents don't want to do a paternity test until after the child is born. They said it could harm the baby, but apparently it's harmless, so I don't know. So we cannot get a test done before then. Courts can't order one until birth. Also, I'm in the UK. Am I the a-hole? I think you're both entitled to believe what you feel in this moment. You guys know your kid. I don't freaking know. This is wild. We got a lot of comments, and he's answering them. There's a lot of tea we got here. Dad is just all over Reddit. So Dad responded to a bunch of comments. First one was about getting a paternity test. He said, "When I brought up the paternity test, the other family got offended. They thought that I was implying something. The family said they'll do a paternity test when the child is born. They don't trust doing a paternity test prior to the birth for safety reasons. I'm no medical professional, but apparently it is safe." This is what he said about getting a non-invasive prenatal paternity test. He said you cannot get a court order to get a paternity test done for an unborn child here anyways. A solicitor won't be able to do anything until the baby is born. I have a great relationship with my boy, and I love him to bits. All right. Now, this is what he said about how the ex-girlfriend's parents feel about the baby on the way. OOP said, no idea about their vax stance, but they are uber religious, pro-life, etc. They looked down on us constantly. I'd say that they hated their daughter being with such a boy. Yikes. This is what he had to say about his son's history of lying. He said, I've had many crosswords, but from what he describes, he's saying that he's playing safe. Her parents don't want to do the paternity test until the baby is born, blah, blah, blah. My wife is fine with that. Apparently, it's not unsafe though. I feel I know when he lies, given that he does it so often. I often see him lying to his mother, and I can tell that it's a lie, and then he'll admit to me that it is a lie. If he isn't lying, he deserves someone in his corner. That's fair, that perspective, because if he isn't lying, and they're just saying, like, here's your baby, you have to be financially responsible. Like, we just need a paternity test. That'll solve everything. Someone asked about what sexual acts the son did with his ex-girlfriend, according to his son. OOP said, from what he describes, censored, obviously, his lower member was nowhere near her area. It feels really strange talking about this stuff, I have asked him. They said they will not allow any risk. I said it wasn't a risk if they said no. It happened twice, but he said she wasn't any good, so he did not finish the deed, we'll say. And I'm going to bang my head against a wall after typing that. And I'm going to bang my head against a wall after reading that on the internet. So don't worry about it. Let's just smash our heads on the wall together. Someone asked about what advice he gives to his son and what he thinks about his son's actions. He said he has been warned by me to not even talk to her in school. Avoid her completely. He said gladly. My worry is more with what my wife will pay for or whatever. He is an absolute a-hole to her. I've even stated how much of a craphead he is on his post. This doesn't sound like a healthy relationship between mom and son and you and I don't know. I'm picking up on some energy here. What about his wife possibly sending money to her son's ex-girlfriend and what she would do in case of his son not being the father? Yeah, what if mom finds out that he's not the dad in the end? OOP said, we both have a separate account and then a joint one. I've asked her those questions. She said he's lying. I said, if he isn't, and she said, but he is. I said, let's say there's a 99% chance he's lying. If that 1% happens, how will she mend it with him? She said, I'm done being naive, and it's that absolute belief that he is lying that is really irritating. Like, I believe him, but I'm not certain. He could be lying, but I don't think he is. She can't sign his name on the birth certificate, thankfully, but I did say if it turns out he isn't the father and she does anything that will impact him, she will be left all alone. We've dated since we were 15, and it's the first time I've lost a lot of respect for her. I do still love her though. If he's not the dad, they are done. There's no way back. Their relationship is already so messed up. It's very sad. She is so sure because she knows our son. A betting man would bet on him lying. She thinks I'm being totally naive. Oh my God, we really need that test, you guys. Get Maury in there, you know, a one and done real quick. You are or you are not the father. What does he think about his son getting married with the ex-girlfriend in case of him being the father and the fact that OOP got his wife pregnant when they were teens? OOP said they won't be getting married. Rest assured. Well, we got married because we were kind of forced. Luckily for me, I love my wife. She's my best friend despite current events. Normally with issues, we've always been on the same page, but this has been difficult. Saying that, I also know we were lucky in that we actually liked each other. Many of those types of marriages aren't good. So I wouldn't want my son pushed into anything like that, but I would expect him to be there for his child as I was for him. I would expect him to wake up sharply, like the amount of growing up I had to do quickly was insane, etc. Respect. I'm happy that whether he is or isn't, there's a plan. And if he is, that he will be taking care of his child and doing what's right. So there were some comments about his and his wife's treatment of their son. And OOP said, I could understand if she said, look, he's a craphead, I think he's lying and the baby is his. What I cannot understand is that she can't even consider the possibility that he's telling the truth or a gray area between, as you mentioned. Like, I believe he's telling the truth, but I'll freely admit, if I was a betting man, I'm probably safer to bet that he's lying. Believe it by all means, but let's not rush into anything without proof. I only started calling him a craphead about a year ago when he was being a craphead. But in my defense, that's just the way we talk. Usually when I call him that, he'll start laughing or whatever. By the way, it obviously says shitehead, but it has been censored for the sake of my video on here. So he is in fact saying shitehead this whole time. On top of that, someone asked if his son knows that he cares about him. OOP said, he knows. We do actually have a good relationship. He probably overshares a bit too much, if anything. I think it's the way you say craphead too, and it's just our way of talking. I'm sure the experts would disagree with it, but yeah. Growing up, my dad called us banana heads. I'd rather be called a banana head. than a shite head. And the last question that he answered, someone asked if the son did illegal substances. OOP said 6 months ago, he was hanging out with friends of friends, and he did say that they were passing around something. He swore up and down he didn't smoke it. I did believe him because why would he say it otherwise? His mother did not. She tested him. Apparently, he was substance-free. One thing that they were lucky about is that he is so competitive at football that he doesn't involve himself in underage drinking, smoking, etc. That's good. 16-year-old Joss cannot relate to that. Oopsie. We have some more updates, but let's drink some water. And while we're hydrating, put your guesses in, even if it's at the end of the story and you know the answer. Did you or do you think, you know, the kid's his? Do you think he's dad or do you think he's not dad? Let's see. I believe him. I don't know why. I have no reason, no knowledge at all on this situation. But I'm confident in his father and that he's telling the truth. Oh my God, cheers. Fun fact, you guys, I didn't bring my makeup from Toronto when I came to my hometown. And I have some makeup here, but I had no blush. I thought I had blush here, but I didn't. So I used lipstick, which is absolutely not good for your skin. Do not recommend, I'm sure. But it does the trick, you know? Gives a little bit of zhuzh on the cheeks, right? I mean, lie to me and say yes. So the first update came 1 week later. Short version of the story, text message that backs up her story. Another meeting went worse than the first. He's not coming home. Mother-son relationship effed up. And husband-wife relationship effed up. His ex sent text messages to a friend around the time in which she discussed the type of intimacy they had. The messages align with what she says and go beyond the version of the story that my son said. My wife gloated about it. But anyways, my wife invited them over without my knowledge. It was carnage. She, our son, and I were sitting on one side of the table. He told his mom that she should sit on the other side and he would start a conversation. I'm so sorry if you guys hear the dog. Absolutely nothing I can do. He told his mom that she should sit on the other side and he wouldn't start a conversation until she moved over. She eventually did. Our son was very quiet at the beginning. He started winking at his ex's mother. When she asked why he was winking at her, he said, "Your husband is," and then said a gay slur. I was speechless at it all. My wife said to my son to stop denying what happened. My wife started planning again. I said I would still want DNA, preferably now, but immediately at birth. They stuck to birth. My son spoke up. He said that this is not how this is going to work. He told them that they get the test done now or he will refuse to get tested until he has finished college. So 6 years' time approximately. He said that courts won't expect maintenance from a kid. And in that time, the salute who gave birth to him, my wife, will have spent so much money and will love a kid that is unrelated to her. He said hopefully that spirals the salute into a very dark place. I cannot imagine saying these words to or in front of my parents, ever. They said that they would just court order it. He said you cannot force him, some anatomy thing. He seemed confident and turns out he's right. He was walking out and his mother grabbed his arm to come back in. He said, "Get your dirty hand off of me, you." He said he'd fight back if she didn't let go, so I told her to just let him go. He said he was staying at a friend's house. He's been staying there a bit. I went out and I said I would drive him. He agreed. In the car journey, he said he knows I don't believe him anymore, but he didn't sleep with her. He said school is horrible, social media is horrible, and your wife, he didn't call her mom, he calls her wife, is a B word. I said, you can't speak about your mom like that. He said she's a woman that gave birth to him and minded him, that's all. He said she doesn't care about how he is coping. She never even asked. When he got to his friends, he cried a bit. He said it's nothing to do with me, but he won't be home much anymore. He said hopefully I would still hang out with him. I know his friend's father from the pub. He started talking to me and I was going to give him money because my son is over there a lot, but he refused. He said my son told him everything. He's a counselor. He said girls can exaggerate to friends and boys can lie. He said he has known my son since he was tiny and he also believes him. He also said he might have more information than I do. No idea. He warned me that they are going to lose him if we are not careful. I went home. I told my wife if she says one word to me or our son about the baby without a test being done, we are over. If she doesn't apologize to our son or in the next few days and beg him for forgiveness, we are done. I sadly do mean it. It wasn't the heat of the moment. By her reaction, I think we will separate for now. I do love her, childhood sweethearts, but my son is my son. It's not a matter of believing him. I probably don't. It's a matter of being there for him. He was always a craphead, but his behavior is erratic and almost asking for help. It's worrying how quickly he has changed. He is the priority for me right now, counseling and plenty of it. We have another update and it came 1 month later, October 6th, pretty recently, 2025. My wife and I separated, but we are on good terms. I think she understands why I moved out, but we still want to deal with the situation differently. I'm living in a flat with my son. He seems happier. The good news is his ex's parents last Thursday agreed to do a paternity test. Music to my ears. That is booked for this Wednesday. I don't know what brought on this sudden change. I told my son that they had agreed. He asked to meet his ex and her parents to apologize. He thanked and apologized to his ex's parents for what he said. They were pretty good to accept the apology, although I do think he deserves an apology too. He said to his ex that he's not starting anything, but that they both know it's not his. She still insisted that it is. I asked if maybe he wanted to apologize to his mother, or at least have a discussion with her. He said he won't apologize to her and he won't forgive her, even if she apologizes to him. He said he hates her and he always will. That is still an utter mess. He won't even speak to her. If she visits our flat, he leaves. Saturday night, I told him I won't be angry if he has been lying, but if he has, I would prefer him to be honest rather than find out by the test. He again said it is not his. Quickly after that, he asked me to promise I wouldn't get mad if he told the truth. He said he doesn't want labels, but the reason it went no further with his ex is because he can't stay up with girls and he uses rubbers. Oh, okay. He can't stay up with girls, but he has been using the rubbers that his father has been providing, not with girls. I couldn't respond as he went to bed. I told him Sunday morning I am fine with him, whatever he is. Admittedly, it was a surprise. I did ask about the gay slur comment he made against his ex's dad, and he said nothing like that ever happened, and he said it's a guy his own age. Because obviously I can't say what that slur was, but it was calling him essentially a creep and stuff. So he's saying that statement had nothing to do with his own personal life and he has been sleeping with someone his age. Just to explain that the best way I can while censoring. I didn't push it any more than that. He wants it kept quiet, so here I am as I can't tell others, but it would be a shock at this point if it is his. So, some top comments now that we have some more information. This is about getting the son and his wife into therapy together. OOP said counseling has a long waiting list and he is on the list. In the meantime, I have made him speak to this organization I was told about. It's like a helpline, but it's manned by student psychologists and similar. It's not therapy, it's just someone to speak to. He will still need counseling and I think, oh my God. I got him. I got him. A little fruit fly coming from my cherries. The shirt, not my yabos. I meant the shirt. Anyways, back to this very serious story. He will still need counseling and I think he would probably welcome it. Now, about his wife, someone mentioned how he lost his wife and his son in this situation. OOP said, I very much disagree and hate how my wife has dealt with this, but to me, this separation is temporary. Even if it's not, she'll never lose me. I love her and she has been my best friend. This is what he said about sex ed and the need to reinforce it. OOP said that is true. He has always asked for rubbers. He did say that he always uses them. At some stage, I'll have the talk with him again, but that rest comes first right now. Someone asked about the possibility of the ex-girlfriend's father flirting or hitting on his son, probably based on the comment that he made. OOP said, my son said no, he was never like that. He just said the comment to hurt and embarrass him like they and his mom did during that meeting. Someone asked if the son's relationship with his mother was always rocky. OOP said they had a good relationship. A bit of a mama's boy, but he was always wild. She does still believe that he's lying. She is still, from what I know, planning for her grandchild. She is unaware of the gay part, not my thing to tell. Someone asked if wife knows their son is gay and if she would have a problem with it. He said she wouldn't have a problem with it. He said, I'm the only one that he's told. I think she just broke his entire image of her. And the burning question, what if the DNA test shows that his son is the father? OOP said, if it turns out to be his, he will have to step up and take responsibility. He will have to do a lot of bridge building. I would be very annoyed that he lied, but I don't think I would regret with how I dealt with it. All right. Ooh, we got the final update. We got an answer, you guys. It came 5 days later, October 11th, 2025. This is it, baby. Wrapping this up with a bow. He lied. Thursday morning, I woke up and he wasn't there. He texted me that he needed a break for a few days. The wife rang that his ex was gone. Same message. I texted and I called him over and over. Eventually, he video called me. His ex was there too. He said he lied about it all and that the test will probably show that it is his. He told me where they are staying and they are apparently wanting to talk about it without adults getting involved. So I was wrong. He lied. My wife was humble, given everything. Her parents and my wife think it might be a good thing to let them talk. They are staying in touch. I don't see the benefit in them on their own. That's nuts in my opinion. But I'm so mad, maybe it's for the best. I'm done. Well, I was wrong too, if it makes you feel any better. I don't even know your kid and I was out here trusting him. Were you guys right or were you wrong? Let me know. I was wrong. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.